Okay, Ryan Newman has joined us here at the Media Center today. Ryan drives the number 31 Quicken Loans $1 billion bracket challenge Chevrolet.
Yeah.
I want to get some of that for RCR. And Ryan, maybe talk a little bit about, I know you've got Quicken Loans has been a super sponsor for you. Maybe talk a little bit about, if you could, maybe this $1 billion bracket and how it wound up on the race car here today.
Yeah, it's a fairly simple deal. Just get a perfect bracket, which is I think like 1 in 200 million quintillion odds. But no, it's a great opportunity to engage with the fans, not just of our sport, but with college basketball. And if you nail the bracket, it's $1 billion. And there is some form of losers bracket as well, bracketology there too as well, in which they'll give out some money for that too. But the ultimate goal is to win the $1 billion. So QL Racing and Quicken Loans is a big supporter of ours, and we appreciate their opportunities to let us come race. But in the end, we talk about their college bracket.
And Ryan, having a sponsor like that where you get some great crossover, that's got to be a big plus for you as a race car driver.
Well, yeah, I mean they're geographically they're in southern Michigan, which is really close to my home, which is in the heart of basketball country. So it's I think it's a no-brainer for them, and for any kind of fan out there, whether you're a basketball fan or a racing fan, who doesn't want the opportunity at $1 billion? I mean, even if you just plain old get lucky, you get lucky. So go register.
I will take some questions now for Ryan Newman. We'll start here. Mike Hembry has a question. If you want to raise your hand, Mike, we'll get you a microphone. And then Bob Pockers has a question.
Mike Hembry, USA Today. What the heck's happening out there, and why haven't you crashed yet?
I don't know. I guess the starters would be we had a 15-minute penalty from Vegas, so we sat there and watched a few guys crash. But it's a big transition, I think, for us this weekend, not only with the new rules package, but with the new tires that we have here. So getting a grasp on that. And it seems like the cars are really sensitive to some changes just because the cars are so stiff now because of the rigidity of how we're running them. And I think that leads to, once you lose it, you really lose it, which is kind of what we've seen, more aerodynamic related to other racetracks, but here more mechanical related. It seems to, from what I've seen in some testing data and here in the practice session, it does seem like it's going to give up more. So it definitely is marbling up way more than we've seen any Goodyear tire marble up in the last few years. So, and what I understand, it is the Loudon left side tire, so which is not at all anything like a concrete tire that we've run here in the past. So it's definitely different. I don't know what it's going to do for the racing, but it definitely is marbling up.
Let's go over here to the far left. Bob Pockers.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. I guess kind of follow up on that. I mean, so marbling up is not a good thing, right?
Marbling up is not a good thing as far as the racetrack and giving us the ability to use all of the racetrack. When it marbles up, you get up in the marbles, and I mean, it takes 2 or 3 laps sometimes to get back going again, and that's sometimes 20 or 30 positions. So, and you have to have you want to have the confidence in the racetrack and your race car to be able to put it anywhere so that you can pass it any time. And obviously, the track's pretty narrow, so giving us that ability to move around is a good thing.
And was the track, I mean, was there just no grip, do you think, this morning?
Oh, there's a lot of grip, but once you lose that grip, it's kind of gone. I mean, it's a full slide. I mean, it takes you have to run it right there on the edge to kind of feel it.
Right over here, further left, Kenny Bruce.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. A couple of things. First of all, do you have a bracket filled out?
Not yet.
And secondly,
it's on the to-do list.
Yeah. Well, I just want to know if he was eligible or not. Okay. So, what do you do to compensate for the issues out there?
The issues being
with the marbling up.
Well, I don't know that it's going to be like that, in the race. I think if they blow the racetrack off and we go straight to the top and start doing our thing like we had done here in the past, it won't be an issue. But as of right now, it's laying a lot of marbles, and we're running the bottom to the middle. So the top of the racetrack, the top third of the racetrack, let's say, it really is marbled up. So I don't I don't know that it's going to be an issue, but it has the potential, more so I think now than last year.
Let's go right here to Chris.
Brian, Chris Knight, catchfence.com. I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about your trip on Wednesday, South Carolina.
Oh, at the National Wildlife Turkey Federation. Just went down and kind of got a chance to meet some people at the National Wildlife Turkey Federation. I'm a big outdoorsman, really avid about saving the habitat and saving the hunt with their program, as well as just in general, the love of animals, which goes along with managing them. So I don't want to get into that issue, but in the end, we had a good trip down there. Got to meet the CEO and a few other people. Got toured their property, saw some of their ideas for the future and how to incorporate the youth out there to be better outdoorsmen and better for the environment. So we had a good trip. My wife and Angie Skinner and I. Well, National Wildlife Turkey Federation has worked really closely with Johnny Morris and Bass Pro Shops, and they've had a relationship. I don't know if it's on the record or off the record, but it's obviously showed up on the Bass Pro Shop car, the National Wildlife Turkey. I in fact, drove the car, I think, 2 years ago at Talladega. So, I wouldn't say that there's no potential, but, for us, it was really kind of initiatives with our Rescue Ranch efforts and understanding how we can help engage the youth in the outdoors, along with animals.
Question right here in the middle, Melinda, and then over to Mark Garrow.
Hey, Ryan.
I get worried when you smile before you get the microphone.
Oh, why? It's 2 questions. It's a good question. First of all, you said you hadn't filled out your bracket, but do you have any method to your madness of filling out the bracket is number 1 question.
That's the thing, is my analytical mind, it's easy for me to overthink it. So I don't know if I'm going to take the overthink approach or the underthink approach.
And NASCAR changing the qualifying once again about the cool-down laps. What do you think about that?
I think that's the right call. I mean, it's what we talked about as drivers from a safety standpoint, and that was, for 2 reasons. From a safety standpoint, as well as giving us the opportunity to put on a better show for the fans with the drama building up, with more opportunities, because we can cool the car down so fast than to go out there and bog the racetrack down with slow race cars, which was not safe. So I think that they made the right call for sure, especially going into this racetrack.
Mark Garrow, far right.
Mark Carroll, PRN. Ryan, a number of drivers have talked this morning about, given the new format, winning meaning so much that we could go back to some of the physical stuff that we've seen here at the end of races here at Bristol. What's your thought?
The physical stuff inside the racetrack or the physical stuff outside the racetrack?
Well, it usually spills over if it starts here.
No, I don't see it as that to that extent. At least from my standpoint, I don't seem to have any plans to be any more violent, so to speak, than I have in the past. I don't know how you can read into that, but ultimately it's we have to manage our race car. We have to manage a race. We have to have something there at the end. So I mean, you can beat on guys, but you're probably going to get beat back on. So there's a balance there. It all depends on where you're at and who you're around.
You're running second, going into turn 1, the last lap. It will be tempting, though.
Oh, I'll wait till turn 3.
Okay. But it will be tempting, right?
Nope. It's always tempting. It's tempting on the first lap.